All right, shalom, shalom, Yasharala, Shabbat, y'all ready on with the subtle return. Give me a second. Let me check this sound right there. Cause Esau be tweaking. Get this sound. All right, let me see. Oh yeah, I think I can hear it. Um, oh yeah, I think I can hear it. All right, everything. Okay. So shalom, Yasharala, Shabbat, y'all ready on with the subtle return from the Great Millstone Camp located in Chicago. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect 144,000 prophets scattered throughout the four corners, preaching his word and truth and sincerity with discretion and discernment. And shalom to the Akim and the few Akwad and the children that might be tuning in too. All right, so yeah, coming back with another lesson, man. Lord willing, it's edifying. And yeah, this ain't gonna be the first time. This is not the first time you got a case like this, and it's not gonna be the last time. All right, you got the so-called black woman allegedly deleted by her Edomite fiance after she was dissing so-called black man on social media. So let's see right there.
Reporting live from Hypers Club in Atlanta, Pride Plus News, I'm Janab. Across social media, a story is causing a large amount of debate after a black micro-influencer who went by Ashley Janae will be reportedly found dead while traveling in Africa with her new white fiance. The story, according to several outlets, begins just last week after Janae, whose real name is Ashley Robinson, will be proposed to by her boyfriend, Joe McCann. The moment, which was captured online during the couple's trip to Africa, would highlight a very special time for Ashley, as she was also celebrating her 31st birthday. Now, according to reports online and Robinson's family, during the couple's stay in Zanzibar, Tanzania, Robinson would end up being found unconscious at her luxury resort. She was later rushed to the hospital and confirmed dead hours later. Now, her passing would unsurprisingly cause many to question her new fiance. However, according to those same reports, he would go on to suggest that her death was a suicide. On Sunday, Ashley's father, Harry Robinson, would release a statement which would raise more questions about his daughter's suspicious passing. Ashley Robinson was on what should have been one of the happiest trips of her life, a birthday celebration in Zanzibar, Africa. Ashley's birthday was April 5th. She just turned 31. Surrounded by beauty, love, and wildlife, she became engaged during a safari, an unforgettable moment that marked the start of a future she was so excited to build. She and her fiance, Joe McCann, were staying in a luxury villa at the Ziri Zanzibar, continuing what we believe was her dream trip. But just days later, the dream turned into our family's worst nightmare. Ashley was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to a local hospital, where her death was confirmed hours later. Nothing about this loss feels real. One moment she was celebrating love and life in truly Ashley fashion, and the next she was gone. The suddenness, the unanswered questions, and the distance from home has made this tragedy even more overwhelming for our family. At this time, there is an active investigation into circumstances surrounding Ashley's suspicious passing. Although we have many questions, we are placing our trust in the officials in Zanzibar and are working closely with them as we seek clarity and answers. Ashley was deeply loved. She was vibrant, full of life, and has so much ahead of her. Our family is completely devastated, and we appreciate the prayers and
Yeah, but then she was on social media talking about what she say? What that shit at? Um, here you go, right here. Yeah, she say every day black men wake up and find new ways to embarrass us. All right, so yeah, man, there you have it. Um, Half naked woman on the internet, you know what I'm saying, so called influencer. This nigga then took her ass back to Africa and choked the shit out of her and killed her, deleted her. All right, so it was bound to happen. All right, you know, that's just what Esau does, man. You know, and that's what Eve does. Her ass don't listen. She don't consider like you ain't just stop and just think like before I married this man, this big bald head ass man, look like fucking Stone Cold. Let me stop and consider that his whole race of people, ethnicity of people did rape, rob, and murder my ethnicity of people and enslave the world and destroy God's green earth. She ain't consider nothing. Her ass just went for it. She thought she was going for the gusto. She finna get a piece of the devil's pie. All right, he gave her a slice. All right, so anyway, it's the book of 2 Corinthians 6:17. Wherefore come out from among them and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Yeah, you gotta separate yourself from this place, man. Babylon the Great America. And the things that's instituted in it for you to receive and have in your life. You know what I'm saying? From its philosophies and doctrines to, the way of living and the way your family should be raised. You got to come out from among this place, man. All right, separate yourself from the way of being in the marriage. This bitch when they married Esau. So now her whole life just finna be whatever he say, wicked ass, no law. This the book of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 1. It say, when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, he hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou, which 7 is just a number of completion. All right. All these heathen nations, the Lord is telling us, he's saying, when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall deliver thee them before, and when the Lord Yahweh thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them, and shall make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto these heathen, man, unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter shalt thou not give unto his sons, nor his daughters shalt thou take unto thy sons. For they will turn away thy sons from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. And that's what happened, man. She got her ass destroyed suddenly, deleted. All right, while he was taking her black ass back to Africa, man. All right, and she on that talking about black man fan, a new way to embarrass us. Well, hey, you just motherfucking deleted yourself. You just committed suicide. So how we embarrassing you? You went out, you talk shit, you embarrassing yourself. She on her right man now though. Ecclesiasticus 12:16, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. So yeah, man, like he a pimp. The so-called white man Esau Edom, he talked the inhabitants of the planet Earth out of the planet Earth. He got you paying taxes, rent, lights, gas. He bet what the nigga on Orlando Brown say. The nigga say we paying for fucking apples and grapes and things that God gave us for free. So enemy speaking sweetly with his lips, man. He talking a good game, man. He got ass. He knew what he was finna do. He just no reason. It probably wasn't even no reason, no beef or nothing. He just said, I'm gonna get this bitch and just choke the living daylights out of her. And that's what happened. All right, he speaking sweetly with his lips. She don't know no better. I had retired. Psalm 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So yeah, he telling her this, he telling her that. You know what I'm saying? You're telling me this, you're telling me that. He told her, go back to Africa with me. And then he choked the shit out of her to death for whatever reason. Allegedly, they say he ain't do it. Fuck out of here. She tied herself to the doorknob with the scarf. That shit ain't adding no. Say right 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. Yeah, this is your enemy. Then these people, you ever seen Black History Month? So-called Black History Month, lady. They show your ass every year, every February. These people beat the shit out of you and your people to death, and then destroy y'all mind. They say never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusted, so is his weakness. Yeah, his ass was going. That shit was bound to happen. That's not the first time it happened. That's not the last. All right, Proverbs 28:9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when he was choking the shot, she was praying, she was screaming for help. I don't know if she was calling to the people in the hotel or the God or just help. The Lord wasn't hearing that shit. Her prayer was an abomination. Cause why? Cause she turned away every man alone. She ain't wanna she wanted to indulge in the motherfucking swirl. She got jungle fever. Alright. Proverbs 1:23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour my spirit unto you. I will make my words known unto you. Because I have called and ye refused, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will marvel your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as a desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they will not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord. Yeah, she didn't fear the Habashah shot. She hated the knowledge. All right, she knew better. She heard the prophets out there on the highways and byways. She rode past, probably scoffing, talking shit in her brain. And then what? Look at her. She was getting choked up, calling for help. Jeebus, you know who she called on. Buddy probably said there is no God. Choked the shit out of her ass, man. So there you have it. It ain't the first case and it ain't the last case, man. Now people are gonna continue to be silly, and the 2/3 gonna continue to disregard the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shema Shai. They're gonna continue to disregard the prophets, man. All right, they're not gonna take heed and wake up to who they are. They're gonna stay black African American, and shit, they gonna die. Back to Africa. I went back to Africa and died. So yeah, man. Stay away from these heathens, man. Falling in love and marrying and all that crazy shit, man. These people out here, these are the wicked, the border of wickedness. Everything they do, where they go, it's a bloody trail behind them. All right. What to say? Ezekiel 35:6, they say, therefore as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth in, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. All right, and say, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So the Lord got a hit out on the so-called white man. They the people up his cursed to judge. Why would you want to be around them? All of the rape, robbery, and murder that they done did. You seen the history, smarty pants. All right. So yeah, his ass don't hate blood. He love blood. He like his meat rare, and so on and so forth. And we don't even talk about what's that nigga name? JD Jeffrey. We don't even want to talk about JD. He like his shit. He like his meat still alive when he nibbling on it. So yeah, man. Stay away from these people, man. All right. Lord willing, let's edifying to the hopeful. Until the next time, I'm gonna be at y'all. Shalom to Brother Kadash on the comment board. Everybody else who tuned in. Yeah, how about Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.